Oh, all right. This shit better work. This shit better work. All right. So today we're going to talk about how to embrace your female sexuality and how to deal with slut shaming. All right. I'm hoping for those who don't know, if you watched the last video, I've been struggling for the past hour trying to get this audio right with a stupid ass fucking mic over here. It didn't work. So thank God I found a USB drive for my good mic, as you can see right here. Never fails me right here, right? And let's get started right now, okay? So the first thing you got to do right now is a lot of women struggle with being feminine. In terms of feminine is, how can I say, expressing a sexuality without being judged. Men are encouraged to express theirs, and women are not. Isn't that fucked up, right? And so women are suppressed. Their personalities are suppressed. They have to live, make sure they don't fuck up, So as a result, a lot of women never experience their full sexuality. It's so suppressed that they don't even know they have it. You see? And again, I'm not saying that everyone should be a fucking slut. That's not what I'm saying. It's the option of being able to express yourself without feeling judged. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Okay. So this is how it is. You're going to learn how to have sex with other guys without fear of judgment. And also, even if you get judged, I'm going to show you how to deflect it to the point that it doesn't affect you. All right? So let's get started. The first thing you got to realize is you got to pick the right guy. You got to make sure you're having sex with the right guy and talking about the right things with the right person. You see, make sure to pick the right guy who's not extroverted or seeking validation. All right, let me put this down. All right, make sure that the guy you're seeking the guy you're talking to doesn't seek validation or is not too extroverted. All right, the ones that you want to do it with are the ones with girlfriends because they have to keep a secret. Or, but don't do that. I'm not saying to encourage you. I'm just saying that the guys with girlfriends, it's better off to do with them if they're in a committed relationship because then they'll have to shut the fuck up. You see? But I don't recommend doing that, but I'm just saying for those who were thinking about it, that's what you should do. But another thing is that you got to pick the guy who's not extrovert because extroverted guys talk too much. Extroverted guys love validation through attention. And if they find out that talking about having sex with a girl gets them attention, then they might start talking about you. And so that's the first thing you gotta realize. Get the introverted guys if you just want to have sex with them, and make sure to get the guys who don't seek validation. All right, but this is the thing that the most important factor in all of this is your reputation. Reputation is extremely important. You see, so make sure to meet guys who are outside of your social circle, like on Tinder. If you see me on Tinder, swipe right. And who are not known by a lot of people, you see, and always go to their place. Like, don't bring it over to your house. Go to their place instead. You see, and if you go into the place, tell them to make sure to go. Tell them you want to go when their roommates are not home. All right, so that could let you do whatever you want without people finding out, without people seeing guys coming in and out of your house. All right, because why is that? But this is you gotta realize is that do not be known as someone who's looking for a relationship and still hasn't found it. You see, like somebody tells you, when are you you're looking for a relationship, rather than saying no, I don't want a relationship, just want to have sex. Guys are permitted to do that because society is that stupid, right, and that biased, all right? But what you should do then, knowing how society is, you gotta learn how to use it. So you gotta say, no, I'm looking for a relationship, I just haven't found the one. And that will give you leeway to do whatever hell you want, you see? Don't be the one who doesn't want relationships. Play to the crowd. Remember, society is fucking stupid. See, I even wrote that shit, right? They'll assume the worst, all right? Now, another one is have clear boundaries and stick to them. Know when you're trying to get more out of it than sex, and when you do, notice it and stop it. You see, like, in order for you to express yourself sexually, you have to not do it from a place of seeking validation, because when you're seeking validation, you're not really expressing yourself. You gotta notice yourself. Any moments that you're trying to use sex or validation for feeling better, stop it and don't feed that behavior. Don't feed that emotion. Like, that's why you gotta remain alert. Ask yourself, am I doing this for validation? And if you are, and you're talking to me, ignore it. Keep doing it for the validation. Go with me. But if it's another guy, observe it. Right? Observe yourself seeking validation. See the emotion, feel the emotion, right? And once you disidentify from the emotion by observing it, observing how your mind reacts to the emotion of need, observing how your behavior is supercharged by that emotion, then you can act. Then you can either choose to go with him or not. But you have to do it from a place of awareness. Don't just feel and act. No, First, feel, observe, and then act. You see, you don't want to become your emotions. You want to be the one who observes the emotions. You see, so that's what's going to happen is that your behavior is going to change, your decision making is going to change when you do that. And even though you have sex with guys, simply because it's coming from a place of awareness, people are going to perceive you differently. You see, guys don't feel that the girl is sexual. Guys just feel like, damn, she's needy. Damn, she just wants my validation. That's totally different from as opposed to a girl who just wants to have sex because she enjoys it, because she wants to express herself. It's not noticeable, but there is a big difference. It's subtle, but noticeable. You see? Thing is that a lot of people don't understand how powerful your intentions are. Like, people feel it. You just don't think they do. You think people are dumb. People are not fucking dumb. They're smart. You know, it's kind of like when someone says hi to you and talking to you. You could tell when someone has bad intentions when they're talking to you. Like, for example, if you know someone's gonna mug you and they say, "Hey, how are you?" Like, when they're gonna mug you, you feel like a tension in the atmosphere. That's because people communicate their intentions. And then when you notice when someone really likes you, you can feel when someone really likes you because you can feel their intention. So the same way when you're going about it from a perspective, I'm looking for validation, guys are gonna feel that. You know, it's gonna feel slutty per se, but when you're proud of it. Like Samantha from Sex and the City is perceived differently. And even though people perceive you as a slut, you fucking deflect that shit because it doesn't matter. But the first thing you got to do is observe your motivation, observe your desire to seek validation, because the only reason why judgment affects you is because you're seeking validation. When people say, oh, you're a slut, the only reason why it affects you is because you're seeking validation. So you're going to adjust, you're going to feel shame. Shame is what's going to cause you to, once again, repress yourself and not be able to express yourself. And mind you, you only live once. You only have a body once. You're only young once. You see, so you cannot let people stop you from doing whatever you want, but you got to be smart about it and follow these instructions. All right, we're gonna be talking. Don't turn them. Also, don't. Okay, it says have clear boundaries and stick to them. So when you feel like you're being used, when you feel like like this guy not putting effort, but you're doing it because you just like the attention, see yourself compromising your values just for the attention. You don't have to stop the behavior, but just see it, observe it, feel it. Ask yourself, I wonder what's going on inside of me right now. Like, ask yourself right now this. I wonder what's going on inside of me right now. And just notice what's going on inside of you. There's a stillness when that happens. When you observe, when you explore. And so you can take action from that stillness and it'll be good. But you have to be aware. You see? Don't turn them on too much. You see? There's something called buyer's remorse. By bumping up the buying temperature, when you become too sexual, that's a problem. You see, when it's prostitutes are too sexual. They wear the mini skirt fucking all the way up here, right? Like, they're too sexual. You want to be subtly sexual. Rather than talk about sex, you want to feel the desire for sex, but try to not talk about it. Like, let that shit simmer on the surface. Let him say, is she like turned on right now? Like, don't let him see it, like, directly. Let him feel it. You see, subtly communicating your intention is a lot better. You see, and a lot more innocent. You see, act as though you're a little girl, a Catholic schoolgirl, seeing the guy you like, but trying to obey the Lord. Like, I cannot do this. And even though you want to talk about sex, you try not to. You see, and that repression is what amps up the sexual attention. So that he's going to say to himself, ooh, I want to seduce her. Ooh, I want to do this to her. So it's not you being aggressive, it's him being the aggressive one. And you tell him, don't tell no one. Don't tell no one. So for example, is feeling your actual desire for him, saying no to him, but at the same time saying no to him going with him. For example, saying, I don't think I should go with you. I don't think I should go home with you. And you still keep fucking walking home with him. That's what I'm talking about. Verbally saying that's it, we shouldn't be together, but at the same time, like, having your actions contradict you. It'll give you an aura of, wow, she just can't resist. And you tell him, don't tell no one. Don't tell no one. You see, and so that keeps you on the low. All right. Don't send nudes, nothing like that. Don't send nudes. Only send partial nudes, like, you know, cleavage. You see, just like teasing. Don't give him everything. Just tease him. All right. Suppress your sexual confidence rather than showing it. Like, if you're someone who's confident, right, and you know you can fuck a guy's brain out, you wanna suppress that confidence. Like, suppress it. Right. Don't say what you could do. Right. Just look at him knowing what you could do to him. Knowing the kind of pleasures that he could feel with you, and just suppressing it in, right? He's gonna feel that. He's gonna be like, damn, that girl's fucking sexy. You see? But you want to play the aura of innocent. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that even though you're doing this, if you come about it from a place of acceptance, you could communicate your sexuality, your desire for him, and it's gonna come out right. As long as it's coming from a place of awareness, as long as you're observing the behavior, the emotions that produces the behavior before acting, observing it by asking yourself, I wonder what's going on inside of you, or consistently being aware of your inner emotional state through practicing mindfulness, noticing your breath, noticing bodily sensation. Actions that arise from that is always fluid and very graceful. You see, the women that I've known that were very sexual, they weren't aggressive. They were just graceful. Like, they ooze sexuality, like just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Slut shaming is an emotion. You know, when you feel ashamed of being a little slut, like that's an emotion. So what you gotta do, like I said earlier, is observe the emotion of slut shaming. Because that emotion is what represses you. That emotion is what makes you, maybe I shouldn't do this. You see, also realize that femininity is suppressed and masculinity isn't. There's a lack of balance that causes a structural misbalance in society that's oppressive and dangerous. So learn how to deal with the consequences of expressing yourself, but do it intelligently, like I said earlier. You see, like, keeping it real, this is when keeping it real goes wrong, when you fuck everyone in the neighborhood, you know? But what I want you to do is just be smart about it. Like, if you just proactively are smart about it, not from a place of fear, like, oh, I don't want to find out I suck dick. From a place of, they're fucking ignorant, so let me just play to the crowd. You know, let me just be quiet. Let me go to their house. You see, let me tell them to keep it quiet. Let me act innocent. Let me act like I'm trying to resist, but I can't. You see, you want to act like you're trying to resist, but you just give in. You see, that's how it has to be. You see, the putting up that front of, I don't like sex, but then fucking blowing his mind out. That's happened a lot, right? When a lot of girls are telling me, "Oh, I don't know how to suck a dick," and suddenly it's like she's been doing it for the rest of her life. Like, that's surprising, and that's how you're able to. Because when a girl says, "Oh, I suck good dick," when a girl says that, you're like, "Okay, damn, shit, how many dicks you sucked?" Right? You really give the guy an impression of you. But when you say, like, I like it, but, you know, you just don't talk about it. Like, how can I say it? If he says you suck dick, all you gotta do is just look like, let me see. Nah, I don't think that's something you should talk about. Maybe not. See, right now I'm thinking about it right now. I mean, it's not bad to talk about it. Just say yes, you do, but don't tell them you're the best in the world. Right? But yeah, this is something that you're the one who has to choose. Okay, I don't know much about that. Notice the mental chatter and observe it, but practice it during the times so that it doesn't consume you when it's time to become aware. So for example, when you're talking to a guy, when you're interacting with a guy, don't just become aware of your mental emotional state during that moment, because that's too intense. You gotta do it you gotta practice it during normal hours. It's kind of like practicing basketball. You can play basketball in games, right? But you can't really practice moves during games. You gotta go home alone, go to the gym alone, and practice on your own. You see, so the same thing is that you just cannot practice mindfulness when times are tough. You gotta first practice it when times are good, so that you can build those muscles and those reflexes, and so you build up. And so when the moment comes that you're talking to a guy, you build up the muscles already, and so you're able to be more present than you would have otherwise before. You see, but you got to give it time. And that's how you do it. Like, again, like, embracing your sexuality is all about feeling your emotions, your actual desire for him, feeling it, but not suppressing it from a place of shame, because then that changes your behavior. But feeling it from a place of, let me suppress it, because that communicates it even better. Because when you just suppress it just to tone it down rather than shutting it down completely, it's gonna ooze out. It's gonna be felt, you see, in a subtle way, and that's how you want to do it, right? So when you're talking to a guy, like, you just look at him like you want him, like it's. But at the same time, you put up the front of, like, very innocent, like, I should have been doing this. But at the same time, it's like conflicting things inside of you, and like you're struggling to resist yourself. You see? And that's how you do it. And guys cannot judge you for that. But if you tell them to shut the fuck up, right? Tell them that you only talk to guys who keep it shut, who don't fucking talk about the things they do. Like, qualify him. Say, look, now tell them that I only go with guys who don't kiss and tell. Do you kiss and tell? Like, saying I only go with guys who don't kiss and tell. Do you kiss and tell? And he's gonna say no. Boom. That's good. There you go. Right? And then you just keep, and then you just bring up the topic of, like, you hate how guys kiss and tell, and he's gonna feel like, oh, if I want to stick with her, I better shut the fuck up. But that's how I would do. But Another thing you gotta realize is that don't have any social media if you want to make it perfect. No social media, nothing like that. I mean, it's unlikely, but I'm just saying no social media. I mean, that will just keep you on anonymity if you wanna if you wanna if you wanna milk the whole town, right? Yeah, this is pretty much it. Anyways, it's Alex from mindforattraction.org. I'm actually working on a video of 100 dating tips for women, where I summarize a lot of the dating tips I give on this channel. So it's gonna be up by this week. It's gonna be 100 of them. You believe that shit? 100 dating tips. That's crazy, right? Yeah. So it's gonna be a long video. I'm debating whether I should do a live stream, but it fucks up the quality. I want it to be good quality, so you should definitely look out for that. Yeah, if you guys, so yeah, that's it. Anyways, it's Alex from mindforattraction.org from New York City. Have a good day. Bye-bye.